Hello and welcome to Japan Lyric Room.
In this program, we take a closer look at the lyrics of Japanese songs, and we try to deliver the meaning behind the phrases and the unique cultural background in a way that's easy to understand.
Today we're exploring a song that was, well, just a massive hit. It's Aime's Zankyo Sanka, which of course is the opening theme for the TV anime Demon Slayer Entertainment District arc.
Oh, it's so instantly recognizable, isn't it? That relentless beat just throws you right into the atmosphere of the Yukaku, the pleasure quarter.
It really does. It's this whole world of dazzling lights and secrets.
Yeah.
And what's so striking to me is the contrast. You have this gorgeous, almost seductive world of the Yukaku.
A little swammer in color.
Exactly. But right underneath it all, it's a deadly front line. It's a battlefield where people are fighting for their lives.
And that's really what Zankyo Sanka captures so perfectly. Those two worlds, the spectacle of life and the shadow of death, they're tied together by two themes you see all through the lyrics.
Which are sound, or odo, and the resolve to live, sei no kakugo.
Sound and resolve. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, especially with the sound Hashira being the main focus of this arc. But let's start with the title itself, Zankyo Sanka.
Right.
It symbolizes a really deep Japanese aesthetic. The idea that lives and feelings, even when they're scattered, that's the Sanka, the scattered song. They don't just disappear.
They leave something behind.
Exactly. They become a zankyo, a reverberation, an echo, a memory that remains deep in the soul.
And you can really hear that in Aime's voice. It's so clear and strong, but you feel the pain and determination right under the surface flashiness.
That's the balance.
Yeah.
That's what lets the song bridge those two worlds. So let's get into some specific phrases.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning. The very first line is, a phantom flower blooming on whose sleeve? It feels very classical, very poetic.
It is. The key here is the Japanese phrase, Tagasode. It's an ancient way of speaking.
It means whose sleeve, right?
It does, but the nuance is that it refers to someone uncertain, someone ambiguous. You don't know who they are.
An unknown person.
And when you pair that ambiguity with phantom flower, a flower that isn't even real, it just perfectly captures the essence of the Yukaku.
It's about selling dreams, isn't it? Things that are beautiful but fleeting. Love, happiness, all temporary.
Precisely. It sets the theme of impermanence right from the very first second.
From there, the imagery becomes much more vivid. The next line is, on a night where vivid colors melt away.
And you can just picture it. The extravagant colors of the kimonos, the dazzling lights of the district.
But the word melt is so interesting. It's not just that they fade out.
No, it's more active than that.
Yeah.
Melting into the night has a few layers. First, yes, the visual glamour is dissolving.
But it's also when the secrets come out.
Exactly. It's the time for clandestine meetings between men and women. But it's also the exact same time that the demons begin their activity.
So the beauty and the danger are melting together. The lines are blurring.
It's a brilliant way to show that transition from performance to the raw reality of the night.
And that reality leads right into what feels like the core philosophy of the Demon Slayers.
Embrace the light, the pain, and the anger, all of it.
Yeah, that line hits hard. You immediately think of Tanjiro, the light of his family that he lost, the anger from that loss, and the constant pain of the fight.
And the key word is embrace. Strength in this worldview doesn't come from denying or compartmentalizing those feelings.
You can't just push the anger down.
No, you have to embrace all of it, the good and the bad, and transform that entire emotional weight into the will to live. It's about holistic acceptance.
Which brings us to the theme of sound again. Let your voice thunder beyond the night. What is the night symbolizing here?
The night here is really a metaphor for difficulty, for despair, even for death itself. It's the struggle.
And the command to thunder or roar is so powerful. It's not a quiet wish.
It's an act of defiance. It's projecting your very existence as proof of life, as a way to pierce through that despair with sound.
Which connects so perfectly to Uzui Tengen, the sound of Shira. His whole thing is being flamboyant.
It's his whole philosophy, his flamboyance, his dedication to action. It's all about making his existence so loud and visible that it cuts through the darkness. It's a roar for life.
Now, the next line seems to shift focus a bit. Dancing alone through 1,000 nights. This feels incredibly lonely.
It does. And while you could apply it to a demon slayer on a solo mission, this line really seems to evoke the women of the Yukaku more strongly.
How so?
Think about it. Dancing alone for 1,000 nights. It speaks to the intense, solitary survival required in that world.
The constant performance.
Right. It's about polishing their craft, their womanhood, completely alone in an intensely competitive environment. Behind all that lavish spectacle is profound loneliness.
So you have two kinds of lonely fights happening in the same place. The slayers fighting demons and the women fighting for their own survival.
And the song brings those two struggles together under the same night. It's a really poignant parallel.
Okay, this next part feels like the emotional climax of the song. A deep crimson scent that surpasses even flamboyant colors. How sorrowfully beautiful.
Okay, let's nail down that last word because it's so important. And I want to be really clear for everyone listening. This is not the English word aware. We pronounce it awale.
Kawale, got it. So what does that mean? What is that emotion?
Awale is a classic Japanese feeling. It's the simultaneous experience of beauty and sorrow.
Like watching cherry blossoms fall.
That's the perfect example. It's beautiful, but the beauty is deeper because you know it's temporary. It's a sadness over impermanence.
And here, that feeling is connected to a deep crimson scent. Crimson makes you think of blood or intense life force.
Exactly. So the idea is that this deep crimson scent, the scent of life, of blood, of the demon's pain hidden in the district, it surpasses, it defeats the flashy surface colors. The emotional truth lurking underneath is so profound it makes all the superficial glamour seem, well, meaningless.
The deeper the beauty, the deeper the horror it's hiding.
That's the theme of the arc in a nutshell.
And that brings us to the final lines we're looking at, which really feel like the Demon Slayer's code of conduct. Even through future hardship, standing tall, trusting action over words, and tracing the fragile light of one's dreams step by step.
This passage just perfectly summarizes the unbreakable will of the Demon Slayer core. There's just no option to retreat.
No room for it.
And the sources really emphasize that preference for strong action, for standing tall, over just, empty words or ideals.
That line, trusting action over words, is so powerful. It's saying your commitment is proven by how you move forward, not by what you say you'll do.
And notice the goal isn't some guaranteed glorious victory. It's just tracing the fragile light of one's dreams step by step.
It's about refusing to stop, not about leaping to the finish line.
It's about measured, unending resolve. And that single idea is why the Hashira and Tanjiro can keep pushing past their limits over and over again.
After looking at all these lines from Aimer's Zankyosanka, I'm just struck by how much philosophy and cultural meaning is packed into what is, a minute-and-a-half long song.
It's so much more than just a flashy anime opening. Its core message is about the heavy, lingering weight of scattered lives, that scattered song, and the absolute commitment to keep moving forward despite carrying all of that.
The colors melting in the night, the idea of hakanasa, the sounds that remain even after they've dispersed.
It all comes together to give this track such incredible emotional depth.
So Zankyosanka isn't just an introduction. It really is the powerful echo, the Zankyo, that explains the entire way of life for everyone in the Entertainment District arc.
It defines their resolve. It's their statement of existence.
Which I think brings us back to that most compelling idea we discussed. The idea of making your life ring out like an echo that lasts beyond the moment. So here's a final thought for you to take away. If the challenges in your life are the night and your commitment is the voice, what kind of thunderous echo would your own resolve leave behind in the world?
Thank you so much for listening today.
We update our website with more detailed analysis on a variety of Japanese songs.
If you'd like to explore these lyrics even more deeply, please check out the website from the link in the description.
And if you enjoyed our conversation, we'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel.
Please also leave a comment to let us know what you thought, or if there are any other songs you'd like us to cover.
We'll see you next time. This was Japan Lyric Room.